When I first met him, he was dressed casually in nothing more than a polo shirt and knee-length shorts. But somehow, he absolutely radiated wealth. Come with me tomorrow. We're meeting the property owner, the head chef, and the staff. Like, the moment we meet up and I go somewhere with him, a 2-digit amount suddenly shows up in my account. And he just says, "Here's some pocket money for you. Thanks for keeping me company."
Disclaimer. To protect the sender's identity and privacy, some information will be disguised. Hopefully, the following story can bring us lessons and entertainment.
I never imagined the line between tens of millions of rupiahs and my self-respect could be this thin. No one ever told me that comfort could come from someone so much older than me. Hello! My name is Hannah, and I'm 24 years old. I'm just an ordinary office worker like everyone else, earning nothing more than minimum wage and getting squashed on the train every day during my commute. I'm the middle child of 3 siblings. My dad ran off with another woman years ago. My older brother disappeared without a trace. So now it's just me, my mom, and my little sister living together. My mom, unfortunately, she's sick. She has to go back and forth to the hospital because the breast tumor she once had removed has started showing signs of coming back. On top of that, she's dealing with other health problems that come with age. My little sister is in her 3rd year of middle school now. She'll be starting high school soon. Given the background I've shared, you all surely understand what the main problem in my life is, right? Exactly, money. I needed a lot of it for our daily expenses, my mom's medical bills, my sister's education, and my own needs. Because with the salary I was making, I wasn't going anywhere. I did everything I could to save money every month, even if I could only put aside $10 or $20 each time. After 4 years of working, I finally managed to save enough. It wasn't a huge amount, but at least it gave me hope that I could finally start a business of my own. Not long after saving that startup money, I gathered the courage to join a business community. They said it was filled with people building their own businesses, mostly small business owners, but there were also some successful entrepreneurs there. Every week, they held workshops and business sharing sessions. As someone from a middle-class family who dreamed of becoming ridiculously rich, like Mr. Krabs swimming in money, I attended those classes every single week with so much excitement. That's where I met Lena. She was building her own perfume brand. She told me she'd always loved perfumes and had dreamed of becoming a perfumer. According to her, she only had a small little shop and had just started selling a local brand. But when she took me there, holy crap, this wasn't some tiny little shop. It wasn't very big, sure, but the interior was designed so beautifully that the whole place looked luxurious. I honestly felt insecure whenever we talked. Every conversation made me feel like I was speaking to someone incredibly intelligent. She had studied abroad, majored in business management. Meanwhile, I was just a public relations graduate. At one point, I couldn't help blurting out, "So, how did you get the capital to build a store this nice?" She just grinned and answered, "My dad funded it. Hehe." Oh, of course. No wonder. Turns out her dad was filthy rich. By the way, Lena was actually 3 years younger than me. She had just graduated from college overseas and returned to Indonesia. As soon as she got back, her dad told her to start a business based on her passion. Man, watching her life felt unreal. She probably sneezed and money just appeared. She absolutely adored her father. She always said he was a genius when it came to business, marketing, and strategy. From the very beginning of her business, he'd personally coached her. She only joined our business community for fun, to do market research and see what kinds of businesses people wanted to start, so hers wouldn't end up the same as everyone else's. Honestly, that was pretty smart. Long story short, one day she invited me over to her house because she thinks I have the potential to become a major business person. And it would be even better if I met her dad, who knows more about business. So she introduced me to her dad. That's when I met him. His name was Mr. Ruben. Wow, Ruben. Seriously, Ruben? FYI, this is crazy. Seriously crazy. It turns out his dad is mixed race, man. Half French, half Balinese. And you know what he looks like?
Nope.
He's still pretty handsome. Even though he was obviously older, he was still incredibly handsome. When I first met him, he was dressed casually in nothing more than a polo shirt and knee-length shorts. But somehow, he absolutely radiated wealth. What an incredible connection to make from such a small business community. From that first meeting on, I started spending more and more time talking with Lena's father over the following weeks. We discussed economics, business, finance, pretty much everything. Thankfully, all those books I'd spent the last 4 years reading, along with all the business videos I'd watched, weren't for nothing. At least I could keep up with the conversations. Sometimes I'd even have dinner with their family. Lena's mother was just as beautiful, so elegant, so gentle whenever she spoke. I honestly couldn't understand why people like them would invite someone like me to sit at the same table. Listening to their conversations made me realize why the gap between the middle class and families like theirs was so enormous. At the dinner table, they didn't gossip. They talked about personal growth, the progress they'd made on their current projects, their next goals, and strategies for reaching them. The longer I knew them, the closer I became to the whole family, especially Mr. Rubin.
Woohoo! Ugh!
Then he'd invite me to play golf with him, just the two of us. He once told me, when you play golf, the value isn't just in the exercise, it's also in the relationships you build there. And me, as someone desperate to become successful so my family could finally have a better life, I happily went along. He even bought everything I needed, my golf outfits, my clubs, everything. The very next day, he started taking me to business meetings. He told me to dress professionally, get beauty treatments so I'd look my best, and even bought me perfume so I'd always smell nice. I went along with everything. Out of nowhere, he'd say things like, "I'm opening a restaurant in Area A. Come with me tomorrow. We're meeting the property owner, the head chef, and the staff." And I'd just stand there thinking, hold on, am I your assistant now? But actually, every time he takes me somewhere, he always gives me, like the moment we meet up and I go somewhere with him, a 2-digit amount suddenly shows up in my account. And he just says, "Here's some pocket money for you. Thanks for keeping me company." At first, I felt uncomfortable accepting it, but then I thought about it. This was several times more than my monthly salary. As time went on, I actually started seeing Mr. Rubin more often than I saw Lena. The relationship between us grew deeper and deeper. He started holding my hand whenever we walked together, his arm around my waist, and eventually, I even had to spend the night with him during his overseas business trips. Back then, he was planning to open a Japanese restaurant. So he flew to Japan to research authentic flavors and meet directly with Japanese chefs. And he brought me along. Seriously, what kind of dream had I been living? I got to go to Japan for free. Well, not exactly free, because in return, I had to keep him company in bed. At that point, you already know where this is going. Yeah, I became his mistress.
Oh my God.
I knew it was wrong, really wrong. But Mr. Rubin was just too charismatic and way too generous with his money. It felt like such a waste to walk away. Especially whenever I watched him discussing business with other people. I swear, in those moments, I completely forgot there was a 15-year age gap between us. Throughout our entire affair, no one suspected a thing. Not Lena's mom, not even Lena herself. Honestly, Mr. Rubin was one hell of a player. Sure, I carried the ugly label of being some older man's mistress, but at least I finally had enough savings to fund my own business. I even managed to continue my education and earn a master's degree in business management, by the way. And after getting close to him, I moved out of my mom's house. Mr. Rubin bought me an apartment near my office, so I no longer had to squeeze into packed commuter trains every day. Alhamdulillah. Wait, can I even say Alhamdulillah for something like this? My mom and little sister were finally financially secure. I could cover all the household expenses, my mom's medical treatments, and my sister's school fees using the allowance Mr. Rubin gave me. Long story short, Our relationship lasted quite a while, around 2 years, I think. From the time he started planning his restaurant, while I was researching my own business, until I finished my master's degree, I was still with him. But during those 2 years, Mr. Rubin became more and more dependent on me. He came to my apartment almost every single day. He'd tell me, "I can't sleep unless I'm with you." Ugh, gross. You're an old man. Your wife is literally at home. Go sleep beside her. The only thing I cared about was your money. Then, when I finally opened my pastry shop and coffee shop, something happened. One evening, I was dropped off by the guy who had introduced me to the world of coffee. His name was Kino. Ever since I started researching for my cafe business, I'd been meeting him quite often. Because of that, Mr. Rubin got furious. He asked, "Why did you come home with him? I keep seeing you with him in your Instagram posts. End your relationship with him. I don't like it." Excuse me? Since when do you get to tell me what to do? Are you my father or something? Well, age-wise, I guess you kind of are. Anyway, I wasn't having it. "You've been busy. You couldn't pick me up. Besides, he's a good person. He helped me a lot when I was starting my business." The argument continued. Then he snapped, "You wouldn't be where you are today if it weren't for me." That hit me hard. Damn, he wasn't wrong. Right then, I wanted to leave him. But then another thought crossed my mind. Wait, if I end this now, there goes my biggest source of income. So I gave in. But after that, things only got worse. After that, he started acting even more controlling. He came to my apartment every single day. Wherever I went, I had to send him updates. My location always had to be turned on so he could track me. Seriously, I felt like a prisoner. Then one day, everything reached its breaking point. He showed up at my apartment looking completely drained. Then he said, "I want to divorce my wife. I want to be with you instead." This grown man was acting like some lovesick teenager. What was wrong with his wife anyway? This foreign guy had completely lost it. "Huh? Did your wife find out?" I asked in panic. "No," he replied. "I'm just bored. Every time I ask her to go somewhere with me, she refuses. She says she doesn't like meeting people or making small talk. That's why I always invite you instead." Wait, was he seriously venting about his marriage to me? So I told him what I honestly thought. Maybe his wife didn't need more business meetings. Maybe she just needed emotional connection. Maybe she wanted to spend time doing things she actually enjoyed instead of constantly talking about work. Somehow, I ended up giving marriage counseling to the man whose mistress I was. Long story short, that night I told him we needed to end the affair. I was exhausted from constantly hiding whenever we were together. I felt like a fugitive. I was tired of him becoming so possessive. It was like being an elementary school kid whose parents wouldn't let them go anywhere alone. At first, he completely lost it. He got emotional, sad, disappointed. But deep down, I knew he truly loved his wife. He came to me because there were a few things he couldn't find in his marriage, not because he had stopped loving her. After a long argument, after everything that needed to be said had finally been said, we ended it. After that day, I moved back in with my mom and little sister. I honestly have no idea how Mr. Rubin is doing now. He was never the type to be active on social media. He'd only post whenever he launched a new business or released a new product. My friendship with Lena stayed perfectly fine. The last I'd heard while I was still involved with her father was that he'd sent her to France to study perfume making so she could become a truly professional perfumer. She only came back after my relationship with Mr. Rubin had already ended. She invited me over to her house, but I turned her down. I told her I was busy managing my newly opened business. Oh, and besides running my coffee shop, I also kept working as a PR officer at a fairly large company. Little by little, my life started getting better. My mom's treatment continued without interruption, and her condition steadily improved. My little sister was finally able to attend tutoring classes, giving her a much better chance of getting into the university she dreams of. Yeah, I know the path I took to get here wasn't the right one, and I'm definitely not trying to justify it. What I did was wrong, but if there's one thing I learned, it's that when opportunities and resources are placed in front of you, people are often tempted to take full advantage of them. I hope all of you find success without having to walk the same road I did. Trust me, it isn't worth it. People will judge you for the rest of your life, and carrying that label can wear you down mentally if you're not strong enough. I sincerely hope life treats you well. That's the end of my story. I'll see you again in another story. What would you do if you were me? Let me know in the comments and subscribe to see another stories. Bye!